The next point, point number 5 in I Spy with My Little Eye, Self-Induced Stress, is consistently acting outside of our boundaries to please someone else or to please ourselves. Boundaries, again, include physical capacity, financial capacity, emotional capacity, and psychological capacity. So very few of us have really solid boundaries. Many of us do things, again, for other people, or we do things in order to get other people to give us rewards that we don't give ourselves. And so as a result, we do things that we really don't have the capacity for in order to get accolades, attention, appreciation, all kinds of external stimuli or reward. And so we find ourselves stressed beyond capacity because of the pressure that we place on ourselves to cooperate with others or our own selves in order to act outside of our boundaries. As I said in another video, being able to say no to others is important. But guess what? Being able to say no to ourselves is equally important. Because if we appraise a situation and we realize that someone wants to do someone wants us to do something that we are totally and wholly incapable of doing well and doing within our natural capacity, and we want to do it because we don't want to let that person down, or the person really needs us, or they're in an emergency situation. Now, if we're doing that every now and then we have the opportunity to recover from that and go on with our regular functioning, then that's okay. But if we are consistently acting outside of our boundaries for any reason, or shall we say our actual capacity, because we can have a boundary where we say no, if my, I'm not going, if my tank gets below a quarter, if I have less than 25% energy, then I'm not going to do a thing, right? That's a boundary. If my tank is on 0 and I'm trying to consider doing a thing, that is capacity. So most of us don't set boundaries. We don't set boundaries, protect ourselves. And then most of us try to act or do acts outside of our capacity. Most of us, or many of us, are trying to drive a car, get the car to run when the gas is on empty. We are still trying to get ourselves to run when we are on empty. We haven't had sleep. We haven't exercised. We're not taking our medicine properly. We're not eating well. Yet we are still trying to go. That is a very common, like perfectionism, that is a very common source of self-induced stress. And I can't say it enough times that if we are invoking stress or putting pressure on ourselves to do things that are outside of our boundaries, whether it is to please ourselves or someone else, then we can stop. And as I said, when learning to say no to other people, it is a good idea to overdo it. Same thing with ourselves. When learning to say no to ourselves, it is a good idea to overdo it, to start everything with no, to say, okay, I'm going to do I'm going to do one event on Saturday and one event on Sunday. I'm no longer going to try to get to 3 different events in one day. And so when you are presented with multiple events, you decide how you're going to prioritize which one event you're going to attend. And then you tell yourself no, and you stick with no. The challenge is, just like when you say no to other people, you're going to push back on yourself because you're going to have the fear of missing out. You're going to have the real sorrow of missing out. You're going to have the disappointment of not being participating in people's really important life events. You're going to have to deal with the discomfort of someone being disappointed in you. So there are a lot of consequences to saying no to protect yourself. But as I have said before, the body keeps the score, and the body is the first to know when we have consistently acted beyond our capacity. And so there's a reason you can't sleep. There's a reason you have GERD. There's a reason that your skin is broken out. There's a reason that your hair is falling out. There's a reason that you have joint pain. It can very often be traced back to self-induced stress. And so having a way to say no to yourself and to be able to cope with the disappointment that you will feel from missing out on things because you have said no is part of the process of reclaiming a stress-free lifestyle and reclaiming psychological and physical health that may have been collateral damage to your self-induced stress.